Man, I'm hungry. I want a burger. I could go to McDonald's, but that would force me to take a right turn on University Boulevard, whereas Burger King is on the left, and if I take a right turn, then Elle might realize that I'm predisposed to the right side, meaning I'm right-handed, which would mean I might be Kira, since Kira is also right-handed. On the other hand, if I go to Burger King, he might suspect that I prefer charbroiled burgers, and Kira is evil, and evil is associated with fire, and therefore Burger King is associated with Kira. Unless I do go to Burger King and I get their Whopper Jr. instead of their regular Whopper, because then it would indicate that I don't really like that much fire. But then Elle might realize that I'm only going to Burger King and getting the Whopper Jr. to throw him off my track, and that I really am Kira, intentionally trying to hide the fact that I'm Kira. But if I go to McDonald's, he might realize that I realize that he would realize that if I had gone to Burger King, he would know I was Kira trying to hide it, unless I get onion rings instead of fries with my Whopper Jr., because everyone knows onions repel vampires, and vampires are harbingers of death and thus distantly related to Shinigami, which are behind the powers of the Death Note. Therefore, if I eat onions, I can't be Kira, because the onions might nullify those powers. But what if Elle realizes that I might be willing to take that risk and consume onions in order to evade capture? Or what if he doesn't even make the connection between vampires and Shinigami? No, that's foolish thinking. There's no way Elle wouldn't pick up on a connection like that, unless he doesn't even know that I got onion rings. But to make sure he knows I got onion rings, I'd have to eat them in front of him, which would seem awkward, going all the way to Burger King, then coming all the way back just to eat onion rings, unless I ask him if he wants anything from Burger King too. Then I could bring it back to him, but what if he's not hungry? I'd have to either make sure he's hungry or ask someone else, one of the staff around here, if they'd like me to pick up something for them. But if I ask somebody else, when I haven't asked anyone else in the past, Elle might realize that I'm doing it so that I can have an excuse to come back here and eat onion rings, and demonstrate to him that I don't fear consuming onions, and that consequently I'm not Kira, all in an attempt to cover up the truth. Unless I can get someone to ask me to pick up something for them, then it's not me trying to hide the fact, I'd just be obliging someone else. But how do I get someone else to ask me to get them something from Burger King? What if, instead of Burger King, they wanted something from McDonald's instead? If they did, I would then have an excuse to go to McDonald's instead of Burger King, citing the request as my reason for taking a right turn instead of a left, and thus exonerating my choice from implicating me as Kira. But if I do go to McDonald's, I have to get an apple pie with my value meal.